Hello again, everybody. Thanks for helping us once again with the play testing for the Equip HQ portal. Thank you to those joining us online. We have an exciting end of the day panel where you're going to hear from entrepreneurs. You're going to hear from people who've created products. They're selling them, they're marketing them, they have intellectual property, and they're students, they're kids, which is awesome. It's the best part, which is why we're here today for the Youth Day Program for student innovators, creators, and aspiring entrepreneurs. And so I am excited to have the privilege today to introduce one of the newest, actually the newest member of our USPTO leadership today, and our Deputy Director, Derrick Brent. And real quick, just a little bit about him. Derrick Brent is a Deputy Undersecretary for Commerce for Intellectual Property and the Deputy Director for the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Deputy Director Brent serves as the Principal Advisor to Director Kathy Vidal, managing a wide portfolio of programs and operations for one of the largest intellectual property offices in the world. He works with Director Vidal to expand the USPTO's outreach efforts to incentivize and support more innovation and entrepreneurship nationwide and executes the agency's policies, priorities, and programs. Deputy Director Brent's career includes a vast public service and private sector work. I'm just going to name a little bit of it. It's a lot, and it's awesome. It includes experience in IP law and assisting startups, as well as supporting those who are underrepresented in the intellectual property community. He served 6 years as chief counsel for Senator Barbara Boxer and has served in all three branches of the federal government. He clerked for the Honorable Algernon Marbley, Chief Judge of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Ohio, and served as a senior trial attorney at the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. Prior to joining the USPTO, he served on the leadership team of Cut Golf, an early-stage golf equipment and apparel company, and earlier worked for General Motors as an engineer with the powertrain division. Deputy Director Brent received a Bachelor of Science degree in mechanical engineering from they forgot the Ohio State University, and a Juris Doctor degree from Northwestern University School of Law, now the Northwestern University Pritzker School of Law. So I just want to say, from one mechanical engineer to another mechanical engineer, thank you, welcome to the agency, and he's going to go ahead and introduce our amazing panelists, and they're going to have a great conversation. Thank you, Deputy Director.
Thank you very much. My name is Derrick Brent, and I could not be more excited to be here with you. Quite honestly, I think I'm so excited, not just because to see all of our future out here, but these entrepreneurs. This is just incredible to get it such an early start. I'm blown away. I'm blown away, and the future is bright from what I see here. Okay, so. One of the things about the Patent and Trademark Office is that one of our jobs, our name is right up here, the America's Innovation Agency. And, we firmly believe that every one of us has innovation in us. You have some innovation, and where that takes place, that's the journey. That's the journey that we're all on, is to find what are we going to innovate. But certainly the ability to take ideas, to take our dreams and turn them into reality, turn them into things that are tangible. Well, that's part of the work of this agency, and that's part of the work the task that we all have in order to make our world a better world, okay? And that's important. Today we'll be talking to three people who have gotten a head start, and have done very well with that respect. And I'm looking forward to it. The first is Christianna. Christianna is a wonderful entrepreneur and an advocate for differences. She has developed Sweet Christi, which is a plant-based beauty and bath product line that is very, very successful. She is and I had a chance to meet both Christianna and also meet Ayaan and Mika'il beforehand. And again, I can't tell you enough how much amazing work they're doing. But Christianna was telling me that she's got employees. She's got people that she's managing at such a young age. And And I'll tell you what, I'd work for her in a heartbeat. She's a good boss. She's a good boss. And then we have, and you see them up on the screen here. I'll be looking down at them here. Mickey and Ayaan. And, can you imagine how exciting it is to go into business and to develop innovation with your brother or your sibling? It's wonderful. Look at that. Look at that. I'm sure there are moments when they're not hugs, but these guys are good. No, these guys are good. And they've developed products. They've developed some products and some innovation. And I believe Ayaan, Ayaan, I believe you are the Director of Awesomeness. Is that the title?
Yes, that is the title.
Well, why don't we start there? And I'm gonna move around with some various questions. Ayaan, how did you get the title Director of Awesomeness?
It's just so fun working with my brother, and it's just awesome. So I think that's how we got the title. It's just amazing working together. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, our company is awesomeness. That's what we want to give. We want to give awesomeness, and this man's the director right here.
Just because he is awesome. How about that?
Exactly.
Christianna, what was your motivation? What inspired you to create your line of products?
Well, it all started. It all started when I was 12 years old. I always wanted to have a business because my mom and my dad, they had a business, so I obviously wanted one. So I got started thinking about what I want to do, throwing out some ideas. The 3 ideas I wanted to do is baking, arts and crafts, and soap, obviously. But the baking did not go well. I'm not good at baking. My cookies taste like salt. Don't recommend. With arts and crafts, I'm good at painting and drawing, but I saw it wasn't selling as much as I wanted to. So I thought about outside of the box and wanted to be creative. So I decided to make soap that looks like treats, my favorite desserts. And I wanted to create something for little girls, and especially with girls with color, and just get it out there, and stuff like that.
Well, that's and something very key that she said is something we should innovators think outside of the box, and you see things, and that's what we all should do. I mean, sure, there are things where we have to think logically, excuse me, my voice. But it's also important to think creatively. Think about things that someone else has never done and then try to achieve it. And that's what she did. Christianna, that's impressive.
Thank you.
What was the most difficult part for you in terms of your development? Your product?
The hardest part was time managing, because I have to go to school. I do a lot of sports. So doing all those things was really hard for me. But since I have my mom, she's really good at organizing because I was a hot mess. So
keeping it real, right?
Yeah. But I had to sacrifice during sports because I love sports. I had to quit some of my sports to get back on track with my business. And now that I do babysitting, I'm trying to keep and finish creating my schedule throughout my business. And since I have an employee now, my little assistant, she helps out with my business. So that takes time out of my day to go do whatever I have to do with babysitting and then go back to my job.
And again, more important lessons. We may have to take you on the road in corporate America. I mean, seriously, time management. Time management is an important skill in business and being an entrepreneur, learning how to manage your time. And also you heard Christianna talk about sacrifices. Mickey and Ayaan, can you tell us some of the, first of all, tell us about your company or Ornament Anchor. Tell us, how did you get inspired to create it?
So Ornament Anchor is a simple and easy way to keep your ornaments safe on your Christmas tree. I came up with it for a school invention convention project. So basically every student it was in 4th grade. Every student had to come up with an invention. And I was actually one of the last kids to come up with an invention. I was trying to think of a good invention. I've had a lot of different ideas come to me, but none of them really stuck. And then I saw my dog Zara, her tail always hit all of our ornaments down. And that's when I really thought to myself, this could be an amazing invention. And I didn't think much of it besides just invention. I came up with it. And at the school fair, everybody loved it. Everyone thought it was an amazing idea. Yeah. And that's where we went from.
Oh my goodness. Mickey, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I just think back all the way when he was 10 years old and he was already coming up with ideas, you could see that his little inventor brain was already starting to ramp up.
Yeah, it was really fun coming up with the invention. My whole family helped me just make it, and it was really fun.
Well, Mickey and Ayaan, can you tell us about some of we talked about time management. Christianna talked about time management and talked about some of the sacrifices that she's had to make in order to keep her business moving forward. Have you two had to sacrifice a few things? And how have you found managing your time in order to keep the business moving forward?
Yeah, so I know, as a kid, many people think you have all this instant days and days and days of free time. You kind of have a job already, right? School is your 6 to 7 hour a day job, right? So then, having a business on top of that is definitely very difficult to time manage. I don't think either of us we don't do a lot of sports because our passion is entrepreneurship, right? A lot of kids have football, soccer, baseball as their passion. Me and Ayaan's passion is creating businesses, growing our businesses, right? So, but I think there's a lot of sacrifices to it, right? You want to go hop on, play video games, play Fortnite or something like that, right? You can't just immediately go to that because you have responsibilities, you have a business to grow. So I think that's the ultimate sacrifice.
Another hard part is since there's two people, you have to be on the same page, communicating to each other. Because communication is something you're gonna have to do every day when you get a job and stuff like that, or if you're running a business because you're gonna have employees and stuff like that. So it's important to be able to communicate and be on the same page and make sure we all are working together well.
And that's another portion of time management. Mickey and Ayaan have to meet. They have to make sure they're on the same page. They got to communicate. Christianna has an employee, and she also told me she partners with another organization. So she has to coordinate a lot of things, and so she's got to, again, time management. She's got to figure out how to make it all work and still get a reasonable amount of sleep. So, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, and it's a good lesson. And I'm going to take a moment to, make sure your folks that I say congratulations to them. I know they're proud of your work. And Christiana's mom, Hilda, is here. And Hilda, I know you can't stop smiling. All the parents here, you have something to be proud of. All the kids in this room, I'm really, I'm telling you, young folks, your parents are your parents are proud of you. Keep on keeping on. There's more, and there's more brightness in the future. So Christianna has had her product on QVC and HSN, I believe.
Yes.
Tell us how that was. Tell us about that experience.
So me and my mom got the email saying that I was going to be featured on QVC and HSN. At first, I didn't know what that was at all. And my mom, she explained more to me and my dad. So I was really excited. And when they told me that I get to do an interview with them, I was a little nervous because it's a big, international platform. And so the day when I had to do the interview, I had to make sure I look right and my speech was on point and that my mom helped me through. And during that, I felt really good about it. And I was really excited to have my products there because I never really got that big opportunity before, but I'm really happy that I got it.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. How was it being on TV? How was it? Was it nerve-wracking?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not as bad as I've been on the news a couple of times, but that was in person and I was really, really nervous. But since it was online, because COVID was still around, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, there you go. Now we have someone else who's been on TV. I believe Mr. Mickey was on Shark Tank.
Yeah, the two of us were both on Shark Tank. Yeah.
We're both on Shark Tank? How was it? You have to tell us about the experience. And you have to, of course, tell us about Mr. Wonderful and how wonderful he was.
Yeah, Shark Tank was easily one of the scariest, most nerve-wracking things I've ever done in my life, right? And when you grow up watching a TV show, right, because we always knew we wanted to be entrepreneurs, so we were always watching shows like Shark Tank, The Profit, etc. So when you grow up watching that show and then realize, oh my goodness, I'm about to be on it, like your brain just blows up. I was sweating down the back of my neck, but it was an amazing experience. I'm so happy we did it, right? We went in the tank 2 times actually for 2 different products. And, we didn't get a deal either of those times, but it was just such an amazing experience, right? We still have 100% of our company. And yeah, it was amazing.
Oh my goodness. And how did you like your panel? Did you have, was Mark Cuban there?
Yes, we had Mark Cuban on twice. We had,
for our Ornament Anchor panel, it was Mark, we had Barbara, we had Lori,
Mr. Wonderful,
and
I think
Damon.
Damon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How exciting is that? To be able to be on Shark Tank, pitch your product, and you guys learned. I mean, you're gonna, that's experience that's gonna carry you forward in your career. And by the way, you still have 100% of your company, and there's nothing saying that in the future you don't get to go back and show them what they missed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great experience for both of us. We learned a lot from it too.
So maybe tell us, Christianna, what is the most fun that you've had during your entrepreneurial efforts?
Meeting people, because I like to talk a lot, like my mom, especially at events. I love meeting people, especially I like meeting kids. And whenever they buy my product, they get so happy. And especially with my new book, Stay Sweet, Never Miss a Beat. It's in my bag. I'll have to show it later. But
there we go. The plug.
I like taking pictures with them and just making them feel happy. And also with my product, I like decorating it and making it look like really nice. Especially with my donut soap, I really take the time to make it look real. Not too real, because I remember one time a lady bought a donut soap from me and she gave it to her son and he ate it.
Oh.
Yeah, and a little girl, she bought one of my sugar scrubs. They're edible, but they're not really good. It's not good for you, actually. She ate it, all of it, and like ice cream. Yeah, so, but other than that, I like, meeting new people, because I meet a lot of people.
I bet. And by the way, Mom, what she meant to say is that you're an effective communicator. She did not mean to say that you like to talk a lot. She said an effective communicator. That's what you hear. Mickey and Ayaan, tell us, what's the most fun part of being an entrepreneur? What's the most fun that you're having in what you're doing?
Well, I mean, for our business, we donate 10% of our profits to the largest no-kill animal shelter in the world. And that animal shelter is North Shore Animal League America. And that's where we got our dog from. It's just amazing waking up in the morning. It's good motivation too. Waking up in the morning, you're thinking, what I'm doing is going to help pets around the world, which is really exciting. And we've gone to go down to their facility multiple times, meet some dogs. And, it's just been a great experience. And it's a great motivator for having a business.
That's wonderful. I helped to start a cat rescue in Georgia before I came up here to work, and so I'm a huge animal fan. In fact, I get pictures every day from the folks who have replaced me feeding about 11 cats, and they send me the pictures, and it's as if I'm out there. I still wake up at midnight and try to go out and feed snacks sometimes. Christianna, you're doing some efforts. You're giving back with your entrepreneurial work. Why don't you tell us some of the sort of charity or some of the other advocacy efforts that you're engaged in?
So I have a 501c3 nonprofit called the Sweet Squad, where I help and teach girls about entrepreneurship, and we also do community work. But some of the stuff I done is I host holiday toy drives for kids. 2 years ago, I did 100 kids. This year, I think, Mom, we did 200 kids, right? 200 kids. And I also done a food drive for like the homeless people. I love to give back to like my community and especially give back to the homeless people because I'm a caring person and I feel bad for the people that's going through things out there. So that's some of the stuff I've done, but in the future, I want to help more of my community and gather more girls into my program to make, the community better.
And again, as I pause here, just again, a lesson here. It's not just about the work. I mean, you have Mickey and Ayaan are motivated. They love coming up with new ideas, new products. But they're also motivated by the chance to give back to the community. And then Christianna here is finding ways to help folks, and she's very passionate about that. You can have the entrepreneurial spirit, you can have the business, but you can also give back and make the world a better place. And that's the beauty of what's going on here. Please keep up the good work. Please keep up the good work. So, Mickey and Ayaan, who inspires you? I spoke to you a little bit about this before, but for each of you, tell us who's your biggest inspiration and why. We'll go with Ayaan first.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that, Mickey. We'll go with Ayaan. Go ahead first.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of business people that are really inspiring and have done great things. But for me, I really look up to my parents. I know it sounds a little cliche, but they've taught me practically everything I know about business, and they've really showed me the ropes through their businesses that they've had in the past. Being exposed to all that, it's really been eye-opening, and just it's an amazing experience to be able to grow up with business and just getting to know all the different things about how it works.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to 100% agree with you on that one. Like, our parents are easily our biggest mentors. You can learn so much from any other business person, but when you have two of them in house, sitting with you at the dinner table every single day, it's you learn so much from them and their experiences and entrepreneurship.
It's a good family chats.
Yeah,
I bet you those are good talks. That's fantastic, and I'm sure your parents are very excited that you consider them inspirations, and that is, our parents are our leaders. Christianna, how about you? Who inspires you?
I will have to say my parents because since they had a business, I was just following their footsteps along the way. They helped me with so much, especially my mom. She does a lot, and she helps other people. And also with like just the business, I like to go around, well, not really go around, but like there's like a specific show that I used to watch when I was a little kid, the Kids' Baking Choice Award. Well, not Choice Awards, it's like a baking show, but with kids do it. And that's what how I got the inspiration to do like baking stuff and like soap. And my mom's friend, she used to do soap and stuff. So I kind of got the inspiration from like her friends and like a TV show,
That's we draw on sources, whether whether it's your parents, your parents are out there every day, they're there for you as a constant source of support. My grandmother used to always tell my mom and me, there's no love like a mother's love. So these are, these are your sources of inspiration, and there could be other people in business and so forth. But remember, it all starts at home, folks. It all starts at home. Let me ask you, Christianna, let me go to you. How do you think that, one of the things here at the Patent and Trademark Office, we're looking to inspire future generations of innovators, future generations of inventors, of people who will have businesses and that will have, trademarks and other intellectual property that will help their businesses. How do you think we as a country should encourage people towards doing more entrepreneurship like you and like Mickey and Ayaan? What are ways that we can encourage them?
So I always say this. I have 5 tips for Sweet Success, and they are: S to stay positive, W is to walk with purpose, E is to elevate others, other E is to enjoy journey, and T is to take action now. And I'm also creating a book that represents that, and it's called The Sweet Life of Success, and it talks about entrepreneurship, being positive, and having a growth mindset.
That's wonderful. That's just off the cuff, she just happened to, no, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. And that is wonderful. Mickey and Ayaan, how can we inspire future folks to be like you two?
Yeah, I think that the thing with kids is they haven't been molded by society yet, right? Kids are our number one tool that we can use to continue inventing and innovation in our country. And I think the more that we can inspire our kids and this generation, right, Gen Z, I think that we'll be able to invent so much and so much more.
I agree with what Mika'il is saying. There's so many ideas that as an adult you might not think of, but with the kids, a lot of times different kids are more creative and have different ideas that you wouldn't necessarily think of, that wouldn't be practical. But then you think about it, and it's like these are some great ideas. So I agree with what Mika'il is saying. It's important to inspire, make sure the next generation of kids really is exposed to business.
Speaking of exposure, I understand that Mickey and Ayaan, you spent some time here at the National Inventors Hall of Fame camp. Tell us about your experience there.
Oh, it was a ton of fun. We did that this past, I think it was June. We were camp counselors for Camp Invention. It was so much fun working with the kids. They had so much great ideas, and it was just a great experience in general. Because when we were kids, we were campers at that camp, and now to be able to be counselors at the camp, it was amazing.
Yeah, and I think Camp Invention is definitely one of the most important tools that parents can use in order to spark that innovation in their kids and that creativity, and to use that and fuel their imagination to grow even wilder and wilder, right? Because Camp Invention teaches kids how to invent something, right? Patents, trademarks, copywriting. It teaches them all sorts of things about entrepreneurship that they need to know for the real world, and starts to expose them to those, right? And I think if you really want to inspire the next generation to be innovators and inventors, Camp Invention is one of the best ways to do that.
And going back to your, one of your inspirations about your business, or one of your sources of inspiration for your business, is that you like to give back. And this is just another example of who you are. This is, they go to a camp, they have a great experience, and then they say, well, how can we contribute to others having a great experience? That is, that's the mindset we need. That's beyond entrepreneurial. Again, one of the phrases I said in my swearing in remarks is, we serve something greater than ourselves. And that's how we make the world a better place. So keep doing it. Christianna, you received a grant from someone special, I understand, from Miss Beyonce. Can you tell everybody about that?
So my mom, she does all the back end work and I just make the products, but she told me that I got a grant, a 10,000 grant, from Beyonce Foundation. And I also did a pitch competition. I forgot what the organization was, but I won $15,000. And so I do a lot of pitch competitions and stuff because of my mom. So that's what, I'm happy for to have her and stuff, because she gives me so many opportunities and stuff like that. But I was really happy because it was Beyonce.
Yeah, it was. How about that, folks? How about that? I'm sure you looked at me and said, who? What an experience. It's all out there, folks. It's all out there, but especially to the young folks here, seriously, the world is there for you. Keep dreaming, and then let's figure out how we can make those dreams into reality. And you will touch lives. You will touch lives. With that, are there any questions or anything? Anything? Yes. Christian.
I have my own website, www.sweetchristis.com, and I usually, that's where you can order them, but I usually sell them either at my studio or if I have any other events back at home.
She's traveling. Fellas, where can we find your products?
You can find our products on www.ornamentanchor.com, and it's probably the easiest way to find them.
Direct to consumer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I'm Ciasia, and my question for all of you is, have you ever come across something that was really challenging during making your business that made you feel like you wanted to give up, or just do something different?
There actually was a time because I was struggling in school so much, and it was like at that point I wanted to give up on my business. But my parents encouraged me to they just had a little talk with me and saying, oh, you can do this, and just maybe focus on school and whatever, and then get that over with, and then you can come back to the business. But there were several times I wanted to give up because it was just too much. But I worked so hard to get where I'm at that I couldn't just, quit. But yeah.
There you go. Mickey and Ayaan, what about you? Have you ever faced something so challenging it made you think about changing course or made you think about quitting? How did you handle that?
Definitely. Business is full of ups and downs. And if you ever want to start a business, you have to realize that there's going to be a lot of yeses, there's going to be a lot of successes, and then there's going to be a lot of failures. And, when you're on Shark Tank, right? When you're in that room full of 5 millionaires that you've looked up to your whole life, and they all one by one tell you, no, your business is not worth it, we're not going to invest. That is a devastating blow for young kids like us to take. And I think I was definitely thinking well, if these guys don't think it's worth it, then who am I to say that it's worth it, right? But you just got to persevere. If you truly believe in your idea and you truly think that my idea is a great idea, and I don't care what those guys say to me, then you should just keep pursuing it. And that's what me and Ayaan did.
It's great. That's great. That's a great question. Go ahead.
I checked out both of your websites. They're both really nice. So are you all involved? Is your business at home? Do you do the packaging and all that? Are you all involved in all of that?
For me, yeah. Well, I don't do it at home. I do it at my studio, but I usually have help because I have to package a lot of stuff. And when it comes to my products, I wanted to since it's soap and it has to be shipped out, I don't want to get too hot, melt or whatever. So I have to be pristine on my packaging and making sure I have all the right materials for it. But I do it at my studio.
Mickey and Ayaan, how about your products?
Yeah, same for us. We've always been in-house, right? We're always filling the ornament anchors ourselves. And this past year, we actually got a massive purchase order from Lowe's. So I actually ended up finding five or six of my friends. I just hired all my friends and we all went to we got a temporary warehouse and we just all kept filling and fulfilling that purchase order. So we've always been in.
I can see you understand that too, Christianna. Christianna's nodding her head. She's like, yeah, I've been there. Big order comes in and you're excited and you're like, wait a minute, we got to fill it.
Yeah, I actually got 150 cupcake soap order. It was a lot. I did it all myself because all my friends were busy. It took about a week to do. It was a lot, but I got it done.
Nice.
Wow. Any other questions? Back here. Oh, wait a minute. Go ahead, Joyce.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Christianna, I love your website because it has all of these accessibility tools for not only just 501c3, 508 compliant, but I noticed that you have a lot of different options for people who maybe view text differently or need different features. Can you speak some to why that was important to you?
So with that, since I have learning differences, I want to advocate. Oh, I'm an advocate for kids with learning differences, but I want to let them know that they can do anything that they put their mind to, and that I go around to these different organizations that helps kids with learning differences. But I want them to I want to help them, especially because I work with this organization. I forgot the name, but they have kids come in to work with different businesses to for them to have an opportunity to work and get those hours in and stuff like that. So
that is important. And Christianna again is giving back, and she's taking her own experiences to help others to go through and succeed through challenges. That's a good thing. We had a question back here.
Gotcha.
So it always seems like a major hurdle to go from your idea or an invention to starting a business. And I'm wondering what advice you guys would have for other kids that have an idea and want to do a business. What advice would you give them to make that jump from I have an idea or I built something and how I want to sell it or how I want to start a business?
My advice is to go to your parents first. Like, don't do it all by yourself because starting a business takes a lot of time and you have to have like the money to buy any of your materials. So I advise you to go and have that conversation with your parents so they can like maybe invest, because I got that from my parents. And basically, yeah, just talk with your parents and stuff. That's what I did.
Mickey and Ayaan, what about you? What do you recommend for taking the idea and making it into a business?
One thing that I feel is very important is for everyone, all kids to know and all business people to know is that there's always going to be problems. No matter what business you go into, what you go into, there's always going to be problems that you will come across. But there will always be a solution to that problem. No matter how difficult it might seem, you'll always find a solution. It's just a matter of how hard you're willing to work to get to that solution.
Yeah, and I think some additional advice is, as a kid, it's difficult to do it on your own, right? There's a lot of things you don't know, right? And there's always going to be things you don't know. So I would say find a parent, if not, find a relative or a mentor or somebody that can help you along the way, right? But, some of the most important things in starting a business is try and create a logo, try and create some sort of prototyping design, right? You're going to need some upfront capital to buy your inventory at the start. You're going to need a website, right? So there's a lot that a mentor or somebody can help you with. So don't think that you have to go it alone, right? There's plenty of people out there that are probably willing to support you and that can help you.
How do you connect with your customers and with the marketplace? What methods do you use?
Yeah, so that's a great question. In the first year of starting our business, we decided to go to our local Christmas fairs, local craft fairs, set up a booth, right? And just go and sell in person, right? So we take our product, sell in person, go up to people and it's a great way to get a feel for who's my target audience. What are some of my best selling points for my product? Why do people want my product? How can I make them want it even more? So I think the easiest way to start it, maybe making a website's difficult, it's daunting. Just go to local craft fairs, call some people who set up a booth. It's not that difficult, I think. And just start selling in person.
There you go. Christianna, how do you connect with your customers?
I go to events. I go to a lot of events. And during those events, I usually, I don't really wait for them to come in. I bring them in myself by introducing myself, or I go around and introduce myself to other businesses. That way they'll know who I am, and later on they can come to my booth and we can connect and stuff like that. But usually my mom, she connects me to other people, even though we're not at an event, but it's just through social media and stuff like that.
And one of the key things you heard from both of these answers, I think, is that even in today where social media can give you great reach, there was a bit of old school here. Let's talk to people. Let's meet them face to face. Christianna said, I like to talk to people. So she's going to talk to you and learn. And as she's talking, she's learning about you. And Mickey and I,
there's no better way to connect with your customer than to talk to them in person. Like, there's one thing about a screen, right? You see people on your screen all the time, but when you're actually in person talking to them, it creates this entire like face to face, and it's just so much easier and so much better to sell. Like, there's no point in hiding behind a screen to try and sell your product. It's a lot easier to do in person.
Yeah, and Christianna just said you get more information. And that is you talk, but you also listen. So that's good stuff. Do we have any other questions out there?
I just want to say that you all are amazing, and this has been incredibly inspirational. I'm just curious to know, what's next? And can you share with us something that is upcoming, whether it's a future vision, a future product line, without giving anything confidential away? Is there anything you can share as to where you see the trajectory of your respective businesses going?
For me, I've been thinking about this for a long time now, but in the future, I want to have a soap factory. So like Willy Wonka, he does chocolate and candy. I want to have a soap factory just like him. And have little kids come out and like have a play area. So I have a lot of things that's going on through my head and how I want that to go through, but that's like what I want to do in the future.
Mickey and Ayaan, what's next for you? Nothing confidential, but with some ideas.
Yeah, so I know more immediately going forward this holiday season, we're going to be in every Lowe's in the Northeast, the New England area. And it's really exciting, right? We're really super excited to sell. But I think our vision for the future is we want to be able to inspire as many kids as possible that they can do it, right? And I think our goal is to just inspire as many and touch as many hearts and touch as many minds as we possibly can.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Mika'il is saying because everyone has their $1 million idea. Everyone has a great idea, but it's just a matter of being committed to it and just starting it and getting going. That's one of the biggest biggest challenges you have to overcome is just saying to yourself, I just want to start this now. I want to get it going because it's never going to seem like the perfect time, but just get it started and see where it goes.
And don't forget, me and Ayaan, we're inventors, and I'm sure Christianna is as well, right? So we've got a lot of products in the idea bank, right? Ornament Anchor was just the one we decided to start off with, but we have plenty more ideas that we can't share with you today.
Protect that intellectual property. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Do we have any more questions?
That's a great segue into my question. So, your invention journeys have been phenomenal to learn about today. Thank you so much for sharing those. We are physically located, not the brothers on screen, but most of us are physically located at the United States Patent and Trademark Office, right? Patents and trademarks, right? And so you've planted the seed of creation, right? You have creations of your mind, intellectual property, in terms of speaking to that intellectual property and seeking protection for what you've created. Can you speak a little bit about the types of intellectual property without giving away any trade secrets or any confidentiality? But what types of IP have you sought to register to protect your products?
So with that, me, my mom, and my team, they came up with 3 trademarks to protect my brand, my logo, and my other brand, which is my Beauty Boss Academy. So that's what.
Nice. Mickey and Ayaan, what IP have you guys delved into?
So right before we decided to start selling anything, right, our first thing was we need to patent this idea, right? It's a genius idea, but anybody around the world can come up with it. So we need to get it patented as fast as we can. So we actually, funny story, we reached out to like about 30 lawyers over email. We were like, hey, we're just 2 kid entrepreneurs. Do you think we can get a free patent service? Do you can do it for free? Nobody ended up doing it for free, but so we ended up having to do it ourselves. So the first thing we're expecting our patent like any day now. So we're still patent pending. We also have a trademark for our logo and colors and et cetera.
It's fantastic. That is fantastic. Anyone else with a question?
Curious, I know that I think either I read in your Journeys of Innovation story, and I know the Naqvi brothers are featured in this month's Journeys of Innovation, if you haven't seen that yet on the USPTO website. But in there, you talked about participating in the Invention Convention, and I'm curious as to what that's like. I know Connecticut has like one of the oldest invention conventions in the country, and now there's that National Invention Convention at the Henry Ford. I know that programs like YMCA has Thingamajig Invention Convention. So there's a lot going on with invention education. So I'd love for you to just speak to how that, or did that have an impact in your growth?
Well, so for invention convention for our school, it was really honestly, I feel like every school should do it. It was an amazing experience, and obviously, it's brought us to where we are today with our business. I remember doing it with all of my friends. It was just an amazing experience, and it really taught us so much about patents, trademarks, copyrights, all that, everything about business. It helped teach, and I feel like it's such an important part about school, because you're not in school, you learn about math and English and science and stuff, but you don't always get exposed to invention and business at a young age. I feel like it's important. So things like the invention convention, it really helped spark the business entrepreneur in me.
Well, thank you, Deputy Director Derrick, and thank you, Christianna, and thank you to Mickey and Ayaan. This has been an excellent conversation. I learned a lot today, and thank you to everybody in the audience for joining us this afternoon. We learned about the Congressional App Challenge, and we learned about Equip HQ, which is a future online invention education portal, and we learned about the journeys of young inventors who have similar backgrounds, just like everyone in the crowd here today. And so I think the moral of the story is you're never too young to come up with something new, right? Something that doesn't exist, whether it's a problem you're solving or whether it's something you've just created to solve a problem that you may be unique to yourself. But that's the story of the United States Patent and Trademark Office. We are here to help inventors of all ages, from all backgrounds, from all walks of life, to help you protect your intellectual property, the creations of your minds, right? Not other people's minds, but your minds. And so thank you so much to everybody who participated today. Understand that there are resources on our website, www.uspto.gov. We have a kids page, www.uspto.gov/kids. That's all about helping you and your inventive needs. So thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, please have a safe and great afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.